Hey, welcome. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Hey everybody.
How's it going, everybody? Happy
Can
Tuesday. Can
can
y'all
you
hear us? Yeah, hello, good morning, good evening, everyone.
mm,
Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. Yeah, I guess they can. Guess they can hear.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. We need to get a name for every day of the week.
Hey. Is age really just and she you answering that? Is age really just a number? Hey. Niece or nephew publicly booked. It could be a nephew, right?
Hmm.
We usually what's funny? The first time I heard that term, um, hey auntie. Well, let me take that back. We grew up calling my grandmother's sister auntie, so everybody called auntie. She's passed away now. Um, but the first time I heard of the new term auntie, how like strangers call you auntie, is my cousin's boyfriend called me auntie, and this has been it's been well over. It was I think it was like no, it was. I'm gonna tell you exactly when it was. It was 2019, and he said, "Hey, auntie," and I thought it was the cutest thing. So I say that to say a guy can call. It could be a guy. Yeah, it could be a guy. Our niece. Hey, our niece. Hey, Keisha Bell. Hey, Bonnie Thompson. Who else we got on here?
And blessings to y'all,
Yes,
to each and every
Carol.
one of you.
Miss Brene. Hey, Aretha Kimbrough. Aretha Ray Kimbrough. Enmo. Daughter of a King. Um, at his feet in love. All right, Ruth. Child true his. Hey, Carrie Johnson. Yeah, Carrie Johnson. All right, them boys, mama. I know you don't play with them boys. Hey, Linda Dupree. Hey, Anita. Yeah, with age comes wisdom. Hey.
For sure.
Waiting for a few more people to come on.
Yep, just a few, just a few. But I'm excited to see all of y'all. I really like this because I prefer the interaction. I wish we can hear y'all so it can be faster, but it is what it is.
Hey, Natasha. Is it Wessels? Did y'all have that bad tornado weather yesterday? Oh, his true child.
Oh,
Oh, Oh,
Oh,
clever.
look at you being clever. That's
Hey,
what's up.
Gloria. Hey, hey, Shakara.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Get me confused trying to read backwards.
Jelani.
Be all messed up.
Jelani.
Okay, that's a point. Okay, that's a
Jelani
point.
said, is age really a number? He or she said, it's a number, but the mentality of the man and woman
Mhm.
is important. Swazette,
Hello, welcome for your first time.
nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, flurries. And somebody said that somebody on my Facebook page. So yesterday, the East Coast was getting its butt kicked with tornadoes. I mean, when I say and winds and water was everywhere up and down the East Coast. And one of my Facebook friends said, "Why y'all getting winds and water tornado? We down here getting a snow blizzard in Alabama." I'm like, yeah, yes, the East Coast, yeah.
Yep.
Actually, a tornado hit Charlotte. Yesterday, we had to evacuate. Well, we had to go to the center of the building, or run to the center of the building. We got the alarm.
We did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a group. I was giving a tour at the time, so that was a trip.
Hey, Louis, Louise. I say Louis, Louis, or Lois, Lois. T Nice, make it happen. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, yes.
Well, look, we're going to get this thing started because it's 8 minutes in, and this is that Tuesday. If you feel me, if you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna go and get started. For those of you that is your first time here with Terrence and Jill, a God-Ordained union. We've been married very, very, very close. We got an anniversary coming up. So I'm excited. Okay, but we have been together for a short time. It seems like we've been together for a long time, though. We just got so much in common that it's like I've known her for like 10, 15 years or something. It don't feel like we just been married for under 5 years. It feels like we've been married for a minute, you know. But we are here to do one thing and one thing only. We are here to help increase God-Ordained unions.
Yes, yes.
So those of you that feel like you've been in God's waiting room for a very long time, you feel like you haven't been heard, you felt like you've been praying on deaf ears, you feel like nobody understands you, you feel like that you're too old to get married and you've missed your window, you feel like you've had a chance, or better yet, I've heard people say they think they missed the one and they think it's over, like that person is gone now. Look, we're here to tell you, we've been there, done that. We was in the waiting room for a very long time. Okay, we understand exactly what you're going through, and we are here to give you encouragement. We're here to say we're your cheerleaders. Anything you are going through, we've been there, we've done that, we understand, and we're going to help you learn that God hears you. As a matter of fact, he's already answering your prayer as we speak, because that's how you got this video to show up on your timeline, is that God positioned it for you to see. Okay, so we're telling you, don't think that God has forgotten about you, that he's ignoring you, because he's not. He's working behind the scenes doing what only God can do. Now you have to stand on faith, you have to believe, and you have to show some patience, you have to show some obedience, you have to just be in the moment and just know that his time is never, ever wrong.
Mhm.
So you just got to trust him.
Yeah. We don't give relationship advice.
No,
We don't, definitely not marital advice.
no.
We ain't been in this thing long enough. But we share our personal testimony, our stories, because maybe you can relate. I think if there's the biggest takeaway that I can give, like in the moment right now, um, I would say two things: live, live well, live. And then the second thing is stop being so anxious to know everything. Live and walk by faith. Not to say you want to be blinded, to reality, but a lot of times, when you are so anxious to know who it is, you feel like you could relax, and even if they don't come until another 5 years, you already know who it's going to be. So no, that's not faith. That's not faith. And so without faith, it's impossible to please God. And so those are the immediate points I can give on that, because we've been there. I'm telling you, it's I lived well in my single season. Always wanted to be married, desired to be married, but I had gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I missed motherhood, and I probably ain't gonna be married. And I was fulfilled in other areas. So yes. So we go live every Tuesday.
Yes, at 7
Um,
p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
yep, and we drop pre-recorded videos every Sunday.
Every Sunday and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm. And we have a prayer group that meets every Friday from 11:50 into midnight.
Mhm.
Um,
And that's off the chain.
yes,
If you haven't been on there, you need to take a Friday and hang out.
yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Get your prayer up, especially you women. Get your prayer life up, because you don't know what is holding your husband back from you in the spirit realm. You don't know what he's dealing with. He could be in a situationship with a crazy baby mama. You just don't know. You don't know what he's dealing with. You don't. And so a praying wife starts before you even know who it is. And that is part of having faith. Like, you're praying for this husband, whatever he's going through, whatever he's dealing with, whatever he's delaying. Um, prayers, get your prayer on. But if you want to join us together in prayer, we meet midnights on Friday. Um,
Let me say something to connect to what you just said. She said something that is really powerful, and I hope y'all got it. And that is, don't wait.
yeah, don't wait.
Don't
to
wait.
pray.
Start, well, not just praying. Start now doing everything that you feel you're going to do when you get married. Okay? Pray. Stand on the word. Believe. But also live. Live. Stay in the moment. The things that you feel, because here's what people are telling us. People are saying, when I get married, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. When I meet the person, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. You think you can turn it on, but it doesn't turn on like that. It's about what's in your heart and what your habits are and what you placed in your heart. So if you are putting bad habits in your heart now, or you're not praying now, or delaying, so all you're going to do when you get married is it's almost like they say money don't change people. If you are this type of person, when you get money, it's just going to amplify what's in your heart. The same thing when you get married. What's in your heart now is going to be there when you get married. So you need to place in your heart right now the type of person you feel you're going to be when you get married, the person you need to be, that you want to be, that God wants you to be right now. Be that person right now, because that's where you're going to meet the person that God has for you. It's not going to be just sitting back waiting, and then he's just going to miraculously appear and see you in a way that you're not, that you're not. So you need to be who you're going to be. So when he see you and God tells him, I got somebody for you, and she's XYZ, and he going to see XYZ as you. But if you're just hanging back, waiting for something to meet before you become that person, then he doesn't know you yet, because he's looking at you, but he doesn't see who God told him you are.
So how that looks in reality, say you're thinking, when my husband comes, we're gonna be traveling everywhere. We're gonna be traveling up. And so you sitting back, you're not going to places, you're not gonna take that trip to Italy or wherever. I mean, now traveling climbing is a little weird. But the point is that you're holding back on life to say that when you get married, you're gonna do the traveling or whatever. But what is happening is that the person that you are now, you're either attracting the same old stuck in their place person, or you're not attracting anybody. And so if you want to be a traveler when you get married, you need to be a traveler now so that you can attract that person. But we also do one-on-one. So if you want a one-on-one with us, that is available. And we also have a private group.
Yes.
The private group meets every first and third Tuesdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are meeting tonight. So if you are in the private group, we will see you in a few. We will see you in about 45 minutes. Private group members, the passcode has updated. So you need to log all the way in through the website to get the new passcode in the members area. So you can't just plug in your passcode as you've been doing for the last 30-something days. So just so you know, the passcode has updated in the last week. So you need to go in all the way. The private group is $11 a month. That's it. The cost of 2 cups of coffee, 2 good cups of coffee, maybe 3 cups of coffee. Well, I spend $2.17 every single morning to get me a black coffee from McDonald's. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. Well, 5 cups of coffee. 5 cups of coffee, $11 a month. And we meet on Zoom. You see us, we see you. You can ask your questions. It's some awesome people in that group. We are inviting more men because it's predominantly women. Actually all women.
And believe it or not, I know a lot of you, well, I ain't gonna say a lot. Some of you, put comments on here about us, speaking and preaching to men and so forth. And I get that. Because I'm doing what I can to get the men here and get them to actually respond so we know they're on here. But the reason why it sounds so much like we're only speaking to women a lot, it's not because y'all on here. It's because y'all are the ones that's typing in the chat. And we're reading the chat and then responding to what you're typing. So it's not that we're trying to ignore guys or say women needs help, but guys don't need any help. No, it ain't that. It's just that you are the ones that are typing in the chat and we're responding to what you're typing.
Yeah, we're reading the comments.
Yeah, we're reading the comments and then saying an answer or response to that comment. It's not that we're trying to ignore the guys. It's just that if the women are the ones that's typing in the comments, that's who we're actually responding to.
Right. You can join. Someone asked, how can they join? Where you been at, Manoni? We miss you. If you want to join the private group, go to our website, www.godordainedunion.com, godordainedunion.com, and you'll see that on the homepage it says God-Ordained Connections. That is the private group. That is so you click on there. Once you pay your $11, go to your email, probably in your spam folder. You'll see the email. You'll get your password and your login. Come back to the website, www.godordainedunion.com, and up in the corner up here, over there, up in the corner over there, you'll see where it says login. When you click login, make sure that the pointer is changing from an arrow to a finger, because if you keep clicking with the arrow, it's going to say you cannot join, or it's going to take you back to the join page. So you got to let the cursor change to a finger. You click on it, and then you'll see it says God-Ordained Connections, and you click on that, and you'll see up at the top the passcode and the login user ID, the ID and the passcode for the Zoom. So 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Also, y'all, please go follow us on Instagram. Instagram is, if y'all care to see us in real time and see all the crazy stuff we talk about, because we be having, well, I be having opinions. Well, you be do. Terrence stopped. Terrence used to do the word of the day every single day, and he stopped. But that's what we do our day to day.
Actually, I'm gonna get back to that because that's one of the things I love to do. So I'm gonna get back to that.
Yes. So Instagram, our Instagram account is a God-Ordained Union. And so yeah. Any other announcements? Oh, the ebook. If y'all have not taken advantage of the ebook, it's for the ladies. Those of you who feel like you're blocked, you're stuck. It's probably some unforgiveness or some generational patterns or some soul ties. This ebook will, explain some things. So you can get that as well.
Yeah, and a quick answer to this question: is the private group the same way you access the Friday night prayer? No, it isn't. Not. It's two different things.
Yeah, the private group, if you go to our website at www.godordainedunion.com, the private group information is on the calendar. The prayer group, the prayer call information is on the calendar, and the prayer call is called War Cry. So it's on the calendar. So on the homepage, you'll first see the private group. That's my work phone going off. You hear it? The private group link is first on the top, and then if you go down, you'll see the calendar and the prayer call. The prayer call is absolutely free. The private group does cost $11. All right. Drop some questions.
Yeah. So So
you want to say something?
While you guys are putting your comments in and so forth, I want to actually get to a question that someone typed in after a video that they saw. And I don't even think the question actually had anything to do with the video, but the question was asking us, what do we think about age being a gap? Okay.
The person said she was dating a guy and he was 19 years younger than her. And we've been hearing it a lot about asking about age questions.
Yeah, that's not the first time it's come up. But I'm gonna do something that I really kind of frown upon, but I think it makes sense this time to do it. And what I mean by frowned upon is I really hate when somebody answers a question with a question. But I'm going to do that now because I think it applies. And that is, I'm going to answer their question, what do I think about age, by saying this: what do you think about age? And the reason why I'm saying that is because I believe when a person asks a question like that, to me, it signifies that they already have an issue with it themselves. And to me, there's something that they need to figure out on their own about themselves, about what age means to them. And if it is an issue, what are you going to do about it before that relationship gets to a point to where you feel that you're trapped, or you can't get out of it, or you don't have anything in common, or you're not compatible, or whatever those things are? To me, it sounds like you may have something personal against age, and you might need to do some introspection to kind of get to the bottom of what that really is and what it means for you, if that makes sense. So I'm not trying to be sarcastic or, go around the question, but I believe that question signifies that there's an underlying issue there that you might need to look at yourself.
Yeah. And it goes back to compatibility. We had talked about that on Sunday. The video that we did on Sunday was about a compatibility. And when people are asking about age, the answer is, are you compatible with someone who is younger or older than you. I was telling Terrence, I don't know if I can date someone. Well, first of all, I see it all the time because a lot of people are mature enough on some areas and young at heart in the other. But I can say for myself personally, I am not the same person I was 10 years ago. So for me to date someone who's 10 years younger than me, um, someone's 10 years younger than me, they could be in the height of their career. I'm now thinking about retirement. So when you think about compatibility, age is could be an issue. It could really be an issue. And then when you think about somebody 19 years, when you're going into grandmahood, they still riding the roller coasters. And not to say that, you can't be 60 and ride a roller coaster, but it's really, there could be, lifestyle really is the question. Do we have the same lifestyle, you know, according to our age?
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to bring that up, is to say sometimes when you have a question about something, think about why you have the question.
Yeah.
Is it actually something you just want to find out the answer to a question? Or do you really have something in your heart that says, I got a problem with this, and maybe I want to discuss it with somebody and get their take on it just to see if my view is, skewed one way or the other, or can I be, open-minded to thinking about it from a different perspective if I hear another perspective. So I think those things really open up the opportunities for us to learn more about ourselves when we learn that we have an issue with something that we didn't think we had until it showed up.
Yeah. The person could be spiritually mature, but you got to look at the gamut of, we talked about this because a lot of times people are getting married just on one part of quote unquote compatibility.
Right.
Like it could be just spiritual, but when you think about the lifestyle and vice versa, when you think it could be that you share the same lifestyle with the person, but spiritually, are you compatible spiritually? So you really got to look at compatibility as all of, what it is. And so, yeah. So many of us get married being a square and trying to fit into a rectangle. It looks like it fits. It appears to have all the same sides, but it really is different. It really can be different. And so
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and that's even with y'all drop your questions, your other questions. If you have any other questions,
and
we got about a half hour.
Because Jill mentioned this the other day on the video, but I think it deserves repeating. And that is, so many people get married on one side of compatibility, and that's spirituality. You think because you go to the same church with someone, or the both of you go to church, that's compatibility. But there's so many other areas that you may want to look into for compatibility, because what happens when you're not in church? What happens when life comes up at you and a person doesn't handle it the way that you think it should be handled, or they fly off the handle? What happens when you want to travel but the other person don't, or the other person wants to do something but you don't? There's so many other aspects to compatibility, and if you only look at spirituality, then you might be missing a whole gamut of things that gives y'all, one, things to talk about, but also things to enjoy together, things to discover together. But you don't even know that if you haven't checked to see if you're compatible in other areas outside of spirituality.
Yeah. Because it's more than just, being believers together. And then somebody had put here, if it's God ordained, it's going to work out regardless of age difference. But God is going to give you the perfect fit. Not to say that the same age is the perfect fit, or the same, being within a range of an age is the perfect fit. But when it comes to, he's gonna give you who you're compatible with. He's gonna make sure that it fit. This person, this is a really good question. She said, "Hey Jill, did it bother you being the second wife that you missed out on being your husband's first?" Absolutely not. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because his, not to put his ex-wife out there, but she's not a believer, or they weren't walking in the,
Wasn't equally yoked.
they weren't equally yoked. So a lot of his first marriage, it was a blind situation. Well, I go, you talk, because I mean, but I did not. The only thing that every now and again, I think about what our children would have looked like. But when I say God hooked us up, first of all, his ex-wife is a great person, in her own right. She just retired, just a great career, awesome mother, and she's an awesome grandmother. And a lot, a lot of people say we look alike, but we're two totally different people. And I firmly believe that God gave my husband a second chance, because I don't think that he was not his. No, I don't feel any type of way at all.
With that being said, someone put in here that if this Boaz was older than Ruth, and if it's God ordained, then it should be okay. But here's the thing I want to get back to. My first question, my initial question, which is, to me, age is just a number. However, once you start questioning, is it an issue? Then to me, again, it goes back to saying there may be an underlying issue that personally you haven't resolved yet about age that you might need to think about. So it isn't about if it's an issue or not. It's whether or not it's an issue with you. So every individual have to look at this for themselves. That's why I turned the question back to say, it ain't whether or not I got an issue with it. It's whether or not you have an issue because you brought it up. So you might want to reflect a little bit and see, or do some introspection just to see what the root reason why that question came up to you, and answer that so you can be okay with yourself and on the same sheet of music with yourself moving forward. So yeah, it's really not any one thing being an issue. It's about whether or not that any one thing is an issue for any one of you. You have to figure out what that means for you individually, each and every one of us.
There was I remember my former church that I went to in Maryland. The minister of music was a Black guy, and the praise team was a white woman. And I mean, they were in love, very much in love, and they end up getting married. And so we had it was like a community, it was a community breakfast. It was a breakfast, and the breakfast, it was like a woman's breakfast, and it was like a community, people who outside the church came, or I forgot how it was, but a lot of people who came were not necessarily members of the church. And I remember I was sitting at the table with the praise team leader, because it was for women, and we were everybody was just having a general conversation, and then she says, and people, when they find out I'm married, they're like, "Oh my God, he's a Black guy," and I'm like, I think maybe you have an issue with it, because where did that come from? Like that, like nobody here, nobody here said anything about your husband being a different race. But I think what goes back with the age thing is that if there's a little bit of uneasiness Don't ignore that. Don't ignore that. And not to say that the person is not for you, but you got to figure out, why are you bothered? What's making you that uneasy?
Mm-hmm.
It's like in our wedding, like,
Just reading the comment for
yeah,
those.
yeah, they had no issue with each other. That's what Terrence was saying. And then Boaz and Ruth, they had the same lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
They had the lifestyle. They had the they of course they were spiritually uh compatible. Um, so there was some compatibility there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said this for each person to answer that for themselves, because I don't know what y'all's opinion of that is, but it doesn't interfere with my opinion. Shouldn't interfere with what you think either.
It, yeah. So this person said she was at a spiritual father's church last month. After church, a young man who was a minister there approached and asked me for my number. He is 61 and I am 52. Are you asking a question, or are you just saying, because I'm
Sounds
thinking,
like she's clarifying.
okay, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said before, I wasn't turning the question back around to put someone back you in the corner. I was just saying those are things you have to think about when the question comes up, so you understand, so you can be honest with yourself.
yeah.
Oh, that was part two. You just scroll back.
Oh,
Go back up a little bit more. I think it's the one above that.
oh, part two. He told me that the lady before me he dated at his church was 43. This makes me feel some type of way. Am I being weird? Are you?
No, God made women different. Y'all have these feelings, these gut feelings, and you have to trust that. You have to trust that God gave you everything you need to be able to, when you feel something, you have to trust that feeling. If you don't trust yourself, Lord knows you're not going to be able to trust the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, that feeling might not be from another man that's the same age. It might just be the feeling you got from that individual.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
you need to understand, it may not have to be about the age. It might just be about the individual.
Yes. So if you meet if you're 52, you meet a 61-year-old man, age is not made equal. A 61-year-old man who lives in one house and a 61-year-old man who lives in another could be two different types of it. That's what I say. You got to also go on lifestyle, but you got to go on more than just one factor of a person.
Right.
And I guess that's the point.
Right.
You got to look at compatibility, and that's what we're saying on that video. These are like the four core things. If you look at these four core things: spirituality, lifestyle, character, and then like kind of like your, I hate to say yin and yang, but where you're compatible as far as like where one is up, the other is down, where you fit,
where you support each other, where you complement each
where
other.
you complement each other. Yeah.
So, like I said, every person is different, which
Every
means every situation is different. So, when you have a concern or a question about something, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you taking a moment and saying, you know what, let me get my thoughts together on this and really come to a conclusion about what I actually think about it. So, I know how I should proceed moving forward. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Because, again, the person you're looking for, you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and you want it to be right.
This is the sad part of it, though, because we're just talking about age right now.
Mm-hmm.
A younger man or older man comes into your life, and because you may not get interest that often, you automatically are trying to you're automatically trying to justify keeping this person when that justification is already feeling unsettled to you. That is saying it's probably a no. But you're trying to make it work. You're trying to make it fit, because a lot of us are deceiving ourselves and saying, well, God is saying that this because God brought this person. And the truth of the matter is that God don't do things. That's not how he operates. He doesn't give us something and we don't, and it hurts us.
Right.
That's not what he does.
Yeah.
And so I guess it goes back to Terrence's point. If you are dropping comments and asking our opinion about an age,
that's why we send you back to the word, because what we don't want is for you to make a decision to be in a relationship with somebody and say you made that decision because of what Terrence and Jill said. Terrence and Jill said, go read the word. That's what we're trying to get you to understand, to say, let me go see what the word say. Don't go by what we're saying.
And if the word says nothing about age, then that means he giving you a open parameter to make the choice. But if you feel in some type of way, okay, this person says she was having a great conversation with a man in a store recently about store products and just regular stuff. He asked for her number. When about to exchange, I asked his age. Okay, and then the comment stopped.
Any type of, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's age, whether it's proximity to how far y'all live apart.
Okay, she said he was closer to my son's age. I can't say I would have done it if it wasn't for that 15-year difference. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
There's nothing, and there's nothing wrong with which answer you gave him, as long as you was okay with what you gave him.
And as long as you felt good about walking away from it.
Yeah.
As if it was your son's age and it makes you feel. I had one of my best girlfriends, she met this guy, and the guy reminded her, so she tried to get to know him, but the guy reminded her so much of her first cousin. And every time she would try to kiss him, or they would kiss or whatever, she said she felt grossed out, because it felt like she was dating her cousin, and she let it go. And so I guess the point is that when you feel uneasy, whatever the reason, don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to say this isn't, especially if you know that God is ordering your steps. If you know that you gave it to God and you said, God, you lead me, don't be afraid to say no.
Yeah.
Those are red flags.
Because the word says protect your heart. So you want to make sure you're protecting yourself.
Trindlin says she wants to love again, but it's frightening. When you said it is frightening, you'd have put fear there, which you have just blocked.
Yes.
yourself.
So speak life into your own situation
Right.
all the time, no matter how insignificant you think it is. Speak life. Don't ever speak something negative into your own life.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
again, whatever y'all feel individually, you just need to be okay with it for you. That's it. It's not about answering to anybody else.
Right.
It's about being okay with, because you're the one that's going to live with
Right.
that belief. Okay, so you just have to be okay with it.
I never said the man got to be this age, he got to be this height, he got to look like this. Now, I had, you know, what I know that I would be attracted to. I did have that. But I'm like, Lord, whoever you have for me is a yes, because I knew whatever God had for me was going to make me be like, I knew I was going to be that. I trust God that much. I knew he was going to give me the desires of my heart. I know it.
Absolutely.
However old he was, however tall he was, however much money he made, whatever his, I knew that I knew God know me. He know what was best for me and what was compatible with me.
And remember this, as you're going through your own specific journey, don't get in such a rush, because remember, God is going to redeem the time. All you have to do is trust him. Trust him completely and allow him to do the things that only he can do to get you where you need to be seen by the man that he has for you. And fellas, you need to trust him enough to where you go to sleep and let him do his spiritual surgery in you. So when you wake up, your spiritual eye says, there she go.
There she go. There she go.
You got to trust him enough to rest in him.
So there's a video that's going around on social media, and it's a young lady who's saying that she went to a singles event at her church, and she said she was blown away at all of these singles, and there was some men sprinkled in there too, and all of these singles, and she said beautiful women, beautiful beautiful people everywhere. She had the phone, she was video recording the background, and it was like flooded with singles. And she said, this has got to be a social experiment or something. And I say that, I bring it up here, is because
Somebody saw it too.
well,
Mm-hmm.
she said it was 1,000. She said it was hardly no. Okay, so Gloria says the girl said it was 1,000 people there, 1,000 singles, and hardly no men. And I brought that up here to say is a lot of spiritual blindness.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you brought up the men who are, and she even said, well, where's the men? And she said, never mind, I ain't even gonna ask anymore. But I'm saying the men that were there, you mean all those single women, and you don't have a wife?
They don't trust God enough to rest in him.
Spiritual blindness.
The word says, he who have eyes to see, let him see. So many people are looking at
ears to
people
hear, yeah,
from
their
their natural eyes, and they're not looking at them from their spiritual eyes. That's why you don't see the person in the way that God has them, the way God created them, because you're looking at them from the world. You got to look at them with your spiritual eyes to see them the way God sees them. That's when you start to understand that there's more to this. That's why we say attraction only gets you in the door.
Yeah, you got to literally trust God. You got to literally say, Lord, I don't know who it is. I don't know where it is. I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know where I'll be
Mm-hmm.
or where you'll take me, but I trust you. I trust you 100%. I trust you that when you put them before me, I'll know. I trust you that much.
And that's why it's so important to tap into your gifts, talents, and skills, because the person that God has for you is going to be
It's probably
compatible with your gifts, talents, and skills, and most likely will see you while you're in that, doing that. When you're in the season of doing that is when they're going to see you, because they have that in common. That's a great possibility for where they're going to meet you, is while you're doing your gifts, talents, and
and
skills.
what happens is and it goes on a spiritual level, though. When you're operating in your gifts, talents, or skills, what happens is that you're literally in a posture of fulfillment. You're literally in a posture of feel good, happiness, fulfillment. And so when you're in that type of posture, it removes the negative flow around you, and it starts to attract people to you. But when we're up and around anxious and when is he going to come? When is it going to come? I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. You literally repel people.
Yeah.
That's why just live your fulfilling life. Do everything that God has called you to do. Do everywhere he wants you to go. Take advantage of, you know, go be an auntie in this season.
And whatever you're doing,
Whatever you're doing,
do it with a cheerful heart.
yes, do
so
it.
when the person see you, you're smiling, you're in your glow.
But
that way
they feel you.
They feel your presence. They feel your anointing. They feel everything God has placed in you, because you stand out. You're the light.
Yeah. Someone someone asked, how do you get rid of spirit? You literally, Lord, remove the blindness.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people, so we hear a lot of people say, I want God to show me who my person is. I want
exactly. Be anxious for nothing.
Anxious
is what the
for
word
nothing.
said. Absolutely.
Be anxious for
Be
nothing.
anxious for nothing.
And your spiritual eyes come through the Holy Spirit. You need the Holy Spirit. Hey, Daniel. Thank you so much for dropping in.
Yes. Have an amazing remainder of your evening.
Yes. Hey, Carlina.
Daniel, you need to give me your information, bro, so I can invite you back to some stuff.
That was one guy.
Let me write his name down right now. And Daniel
Zuniga.
But we ain't gonna. I'm gonna just write how he spelled it himself, because he would know.
Yeah. Who's in a private group? Drop these yeses, because we're about to go deep in the private group.
See, ladies, I'm working for you.
Hey, Shan.
There was one last letter. I think it was a
Zuniga.
It's a D. The very last one. Cool.
Yeah. Hey, Leanne. Hey, April.
But look, y'all have any other questions for us? Any comments before we tap out and go to the next group?
Yeah, she said, and honestly, I believe that if you can't get past something like age, consider it a sign from God. The right person can make that same age not even matter. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah. If you posing it as an issue, it's an issue.
Mhm.
But I'm not the same person I was 10 years
I'm
ago.
not the same person I was 10 years ago.
Mm-mm.
And I said that in one of my platforms. I said, one of my profiles, I said that, you know, I'm working on redefining myself.
Yeah, I'm not
And
this.
then later, I changed it to, look, you got to be a godly woman first.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have some security about who you are, because
Yeah,
I know me. I ain't gonna go out there do anything crazy, but I need to know that you're secure with yourself.
yeah. Mm.
And y'all think she's secure with herself? I think she is. I know she is.
But is it wrong to ask God for specifics when He says, "Make your requests known"?
You ask God for anything you want. He's
Anything.
big enough to handle anything you ask. Ask
I,
him for whatever you want.
I just trust Him with anything. I'm the type. I'm like, Lord, whatever the day gonna bring. Well, let me rephrase that, because we declare it's gonna be a good day today. It's gonna be, so we need to be declaring some things. And so, but as far as specific, because I don't know how God wanna, you know, that's like we said, Lord, give us $1 million, but I want it to come through the lottery. Like, I don't give that many parameters like that. Like, I'm like, Lord, this is what we want, and however you want to do it, whenever, however, I want marriage. But I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, wherever he is, whatever's, I trust you. But these are the desires of my heart. So, should you give a person a chance who did not pursue or help you in your healing season, but want to circle back during your, huh?
So ask yourself this question. If you needed that person and they wasn't there for you when you needed during your healing,
Did they cause
why would
your,
you give them a chance when you get into your glow season?
did they cause your harm that you need a healing from? Blessings to you too. Is it
Hmm?
Queen Mia? That's right. Put God first. He'll give you the desires of your heart.
Yeah.
Let me say, God gonna hook you up.
Look,
He
God don't
gonna hook
play.
you because He ordains marriage. He has a purpose for it. He gonna hook. You think He gonna give you a marriage or a person that's gonna make you feel some type of way?
And he's never going to have you sacrifice something that he's not going to replace
With
beyond what you sacrificed.
my God, don't operate like that.
Whoo, he don't be playing.
And that's why Terrence always used to say this. He don't say it no more. But that's why we were saying, when you ask God for 20 things, you just asking him. He got 50 extra things that you ain't even never thought about.
So some of you
He
got a
know you
list with
that
50
much.
items on it. And God's saying, but you're only asking for things that you know. I know some things you don't know.
So
if you depend on my list, I got another 100 things on my list that you ain't never thought about, because I know what you need 5 years from now. I know what you need 10 years from now.
You just want a marriage that's like this.
Stop
That's it.
trying to put your limitations of thought on God.
That was the word of the day in the Bible app. Lean out unto your own understanding.
Absolutely. Exceedingly abundantly.
He will do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you can ask or think.
Y'all trying to make us preach up in here.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to do.
You got to literally trust God. You got to trust God. Trust him. Let it go. You made your petition known. Let it go, and now go live. Go live your best life.
Hallelujah.
Yes, go live your best life. Oh, wait a minute. She said, You guys spoke about the difference between chasing and being seen. If I boldly told a man I am interested in getting it to know him, is that chasing? No. Now we did a video on that a couple of weeks ago.
That's
You've
just
made yourself
that's
known.
just
You're
positioning yourself
positioning
to be
yourself
seen.
to be
Now
seen.
he's aware.
Now he's
that,
aware.
yeah.
Now let's see if he's going to pursue
Yeah.
you or not. Now, if he doesn't pursue you and you go run after him, that's chasing him. Now he knows you exist. Fall back.
Yeah. Can you please help me?
I don't know who
The
this
passcode
is.
for-
Did you join the group? You got to get the passcode from inside on the members page. All right, y'all.
No, we got to click over.
We got to click over. We'll see most of you all in the private group. Bring your questions over there. All right, y'all.
Yes. We see you guys next. Deuces. Pieces.
Deuces.
Hallelujah. See y'all later. Good night. Have a great one.